Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. I'm your host on our own today, Corinne. I own and operate the Woolly Thistle, usually with my sidekick who is out of the shop today due to illness. She's fine. She'll be getting back to work really soon. But Maggie is our product development manager and she is very missed. It's been a long time since I've recorded on my own, so we'll see how this goes. But I hope you're all doing well and thank you for watching. If you're new or returning, just thanks for being here and supporting the Woolly Thistle. I would love to point out that we have stopped doing ads on our channel in the hope that you support the Woolly Thistle by visiting the shop. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We do have free shipping on orders on $125 or more in the US, that is. And we have a PIPS program. We call it our PIPS program. It's a loyalty program for points in progress. And so long as you sign up on the website, you will automatically get PIPS applied to your orders. Once you have collected 500 PIPS, which doesn't take long, then you can redeem them for money off of your future orders. So it's a really nice little gift, and there's lots of different ways that you can earn PIPS. If you want to find out more, just go to the website and click on the little gifty icon or where it says Thistle Club. Right, for today we've got lovely segments. We have Kelsey on the show, Emma, and we'll wrap it up with Kim at the end, who's doing a lovely mindful walk as part of her yoga practice. I watched it last night and I loved it. So that's what we have on the Shopcast for you today. I'll start by telling you I'm wearing one of my vanilla sweaters. I love this. It's knitted in Rauma Finullgarn. What I love about this one is the sleeves. There's sort of a tiny little bell sleeve where I did really fast decreases near the end. And then I put on a little I-cord. And I think, no, I just have a 1x1 rib here. So the vanilla sweater, of course, you know, it's our best-selling kit ever, and they never get boring to knit. I use Rauma Finullgarn, which is a real workhorse yarn, and it softens up over time. And yes, if you've been watching for any amount of time, you'll know and maybe have knitted a vanilla sweater. So, you know, I wear mine all the time. I have several, and it's sort of a uniform. My friend Molly, hello Molly, from Green Hope Farm, she wears vanilla fluffs like a uniform at her work. And it's just great to know that they're so comfortable and so useful and can be worn so much. So I'm very proud of that. Right, so I told you who's on the show today, and now I'm going to announce a winner because we always give away, or we always try to remember to give away 2 gift cards to the Woolly Thistle, $25 each. So the first prize goes to Lena Hermanson, 3511. Thank you for all your inspiration, Lena says. I love to see all your projects and lovely yarn. The selection box looks absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad you think so. I think I need to talk to Santa and ask for an extra nice Christmas gift this year. You go ahead and do that. That would be great. Well, Lena, congratulations on being the winner of our $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle. Just leave us an email at info@thewoollythistle, putting winner in caps in the subject line so we can pick you out quickly and we'll get that off to you. If you would like to be in the running for a gift certificate next time or a gift card for the Woolly Thistle, all you need to do is give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment below. We pick from comments randomly. And subscribe to the channel and you'll be in the running for a gift card. So I have another one to announce later on in the show, but congratulations, Lena. And yes, she mentions the selection box, which in fact went on early access sale yesterday and is open to the general public today. I don't know if we have any left at time of recording because that's happening in the future, but by the time you see this, we will be in general access. If there are any left and you're interested in one, hop on over to the shop. You'll find them there because they are on sale today if we have any left. And I really don't know what to expect. It's always a big surprise how these things go, but it's an absolutely beautiful box. We're very proud of it, and the vendors that are in there love their yarn. So yes, if you have purchased one already, thank you so much. You really do support the Woolly Thistle with your purchase. And if there are some left and you're interested, go check out the shop now and come back and resume once you have done that. So let's see, I have stuff to share with you. let's see what I'm knitting on. My cardigan has not really moved since the last time I showed you this. And I think it's because I'm doing some shaping and stuck in the back and forth of the color work, which I don't actually mind that much, but it just requires a more thinking than I have time for right now. So this is the cardigan, the body. And just thank you so much to everybody who leaves a comment saying that they like it, because I'm a little ambivalent about whether or not I like what I'm doing with the color work. But here we go. It's going to be lovely. I think this is something I will wear quite a bit. And I do like how the colors are changing. I'm just not sure of the actual colors. So this is Kate Davies's Cheerio sweater. Love that name. We used to say Cheerio all the time back home when you're saying goodbye to someone. Here it's just a cereal, so I've got out of the way of saying it. But it's in her Allover book, which is an absolutely beautiful book. We have it in stock, and hers is just two colors. It's a blue and grey, a navy and grey, and I wanted mine to be colourful, which it certainly is. So I've got steeks going for the sleeve holes here, the one and another one on where you'd expect the other one to be there, and then we've got a steek going right up the middle. And then this is the neck shaping part that I'm doing right now. I actually do really like this color combo that I'm on right now. So yes, so this has been in time out a little bit. I don't know why. I think it just feels a little more, you know, I'm needing to think a bit more about it. And so I'm getting a little squirrely, a little slippery, because what I have been wanting to knit all of a sudden, after years and years of not knitting that much, are socks. So let me put my latest pair of socks. These are completely just plain old socks, knitted top down with a heel flap and gusset, and knitted in West Yorkshire Spinners Jade colorway. As soon as I saw this colorway, I knew I wanted to knit these. And I'm so glad, because I love them and I know that they'll wear like iron. West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply sock yarn is just, it's lovely and soft, but it's really hard wearing. It's a 75-25 wool nylon blend. It is superwash treated, which I always give myself a pass with socks, because I do like to throw these just in the wash with other things. The trick is not putting them in the dryer with other things, or if at all, you just don't put them in the dryer. But anyway, I have a pair. They're not, the ends are not woven in, and I didn't try to, but I actually got them to be matching all the way down. Look at that. I'm pretty impressed. Is that right? Yeah. Look, all the way down, and even on the foot, they're matching. So I didn't try to do that, it just happened. But don't you love them? I love them with that little hint of pink. So yes, I can't wait. I haven't worn these, haven't blocked them yet, because I wanted to show them to you first. One little trick I did do, because I have thicker ankles, is that I like to have a bit more room in my ankles. So I knit these on a US 1.5 to here, and then I changed to a US 1. And I knit the heel flap gusset and foot all on a US 1. So that just meant I had to knit maybe more rows to get the length, but it's knitted at a tighter gauge. Not that you can really tell, but I like to have the soles of my feet on a tighter gauge. That way it helps the bulletproofness of the sock and have it last longer. So yes, a pair of socks. I have an FO. I mean, for a sweater knitter, this feels awfully quick and easy. And so what did I do after that? Well, I cast on another pair of socks. And I'm going to show you these. These ones are toe up. I'm knitting these in our own yarn. Let me see. Oh my gosh. I'm knitting these in Rambler, which is our woolly thistle yarn. And you can see there is a lovely little flower pattern going on. Look at those Those could even be mistaken for thistles, could they not? These are actually called the Snowdrop socks, and they're by Fox and Folk, which is a mum designing. I think she's in the UK, and she does beautiful sock designs, and I actually came across her as an affiliate for the Woolly Thistle. She's one of our affiliates, so go give her some love. We'll link to her in the bottom. And I think this is knitting up quickly and so like a thistle, right? It does look like a thistle. So I had to knit these. I'm really enjoying knitting with the Woolly Thistle's Rambler yarn, of course. These are actually on a US, I don't know what it is it a 2.75 millimeter, which I feel is awfully big, but that's okay. They're not turning out hugely big. It's a lovely pattern. It's written for many sizes from toddler to adult. And you even have Latvian braids happening, and she has a nice link to a tutorial on how to do that, which was helpful. I always forget till I do a couple, and then I'm like, okay, I'm back on track. So I don't really like knitting socks toe up. I don't like messing around with the toe, but I actually did pretty good. I might actually unpick this though and make it more of a less of a, I don't have toes this shape, and I think that's one of the reasons I like knitting top down, is that then I can just cut the toe short when I know I've reached the point that I want to stop. I've knitted so much hair into these, it's ridiculous. So yeah, so anyway, really enjoying these. I can't wait to block them. Maybe I should have, but they're still on the needle, so I haven't. But you can see there, was that upside down? Yeah. You can see these lovely. So go check her out. She has some colorwork socks. I think she has some garments as well. And I'd be happy for you to go check her out. So yes, enjoying that. Oh, I wanted to show you too. I have all this yarn left from my ball, my 100-gram ball of this is the signature 4-ply that I knitted my socks and my FO. I have small feet, but I did knit quite long cuffs with these. And yeah, I've got all this left. So this would be good for heels, cuffs and toes and things on other socks if I wanted to. I always enjoy balling these up at the end, because otherwise you're, you know, the spun ball that it came in is just really loose, and I like to spin it up as the colors change. I find that very sort of therapeutic and fun to do. So yes, I've got this for stash. That's what I wanted to show you. So I'm all about socks right now. I think having something quick and easy is what the palette is requiring me to do. Anyway, I can't wait for Maggie to be back with us next time to see what she's knitting on. Hopefully she's getting some knitting time in, but you know, we'll see. Should we go and visit Kelsey now? I think we should. Enough of me blethering on. I will see you when we come back. I haven't seen Kelsey's video yet, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome, as it always is. So I'll be watching with you as well, and then come back and we'll visit some more.
Hi, it's Kelsey. First of all, I apologize for my voice. I'm getting over a cold, and I woke up this morning with nothing. So this is an improvement over nothing. So it doesn't hurt me. I'm sorry if you can't fully understand everything that I'm saying today. I just wanted to jump in for a couple of minutes and talk about two things. One is this scarf that I'm wearing, and the second is some ideas that I have for gift knitting. It is November. We are coming up on gift knitting season for whatever holidays that you celebrate in the winter time. And I just have some ideas of things that I have knit, things that I want to knit, and some just suggestions for yarns that you could use to knit these patterns that the Woolly Thistle stocks. So first of all, this is actually a woven scarf. This is my first ever rigid heddle loom project. I'm sort of disproportionately happy about it. It's a nice long length. My warp is just a stash yarn that I had, but it was only one skein of yarn. I don't even think it was a full skein. It is, I'd say, about 7-8 inches in width, and I just went through the warp, as you can see is sort of a fuchsia purple color. And I went through my stash and I just did plain weave. And sorry, it's a little wrinkly, but I went plain weave on like balls of scrap yarn until they ran out, and then I changed to a different one. And I stuck with greens and neutrals to go with the purple and not to make it too crazy. But I just thought it was a fun way to use up some scraps. So they're all different sort of sizes, and some of them are even pretty different textures because they're different fibers that are used. This one's pretty long, and you can see my weaving is pretty uneven when you're looking at it in the camera, especially. Ooh. But I think it's really nice. I think it's worked out really well. Like, that's a pretty long block. This color in here I think is Brusca, if I'm remembering it, Retrosaria Brusca correctly. And then there's some other woolly thistle yarns thrown in here with all sorts of other yarns. And I just wanted to share it because I'm pretty happy with it. And it's probably too warm to be wearing it inside here, but I'm going to wear it anyway. And it actually the warping actually takes quite a bit of time that I wasn't prepared for, because knitting is very plug and play. You start and you go, you cast on and you go. And it's not very long. Your cast on is really not much more than a knitting row. But the warping for weaving is a long time, even on a small project, even on a simple loom like my rigid heddle loom. But the weaving itself didn't take that much. I would say probably, if I had to add it up, it was maybe 8 hours of weaving, but it was also like 3 hours of warping. So, you have to add it all up. So, gift ideas. I chose patterns that I have either knit myself or I really like, that are totally accomplishable by the winter holidays. So there are no sweaters, there's no big shawls, there's no blankets in this list. And all I have really is either the first page of the pattern if I own the pattern, or the Ravelry page if I don't. So the first one is called Jelka, and it's by Isabel Kramer. I believe it's a free pattern. It's actually written for Brusca, and I recommend using Brusca for it. So it's one color of Brusca, and then there's some color work here. I think it's actually slip stitch color work, if I'm remembering right. So it's just got some nice interest here above the ribbing, and then you're knitting a plain thing, and obviously the pom-pom would be optional. So that is a nice quick hat. It's sort of on the light worsted range of things, so it wouldn't take too long. The next is called the Bankhead hat. The Bankhead hat is by Susie Gourlay. It's very popular. It's a free pattern online. It's generally a worsted weight, so about 20 stitches. I think 20 stitches is the pattern gauge. It's sort of a one width of ribbing here and a different width of ribbing up here. But you can really use any yarn that you like that gets to that 20 stitches or so. I'd recommend, if you wanted to buy new yarn or if you have stash yarn, Rauma Fivel would be a great choice. And also Jamieson Smith Shetland Aran. So it's like their 2-ply jumper weight, but it's the sort of fat version, would be really nice in this hat. Yeah. And something to say about hats. Some people are they're very like, could wear wool everywhere, but maybe very sensitive just right here on their forehead. So if you're knitting for another person for a gift, just think about that. Like, if you know that they are sensitive right here. Or you could also knit the full hat with a nice woolly, fluffy wool, but then you can actually line the very forehead, like the first couple inches of the hat, with a softer yarn if you wanted to. Another great one that I've knit before is called the Morning Walk hat. It's a knit beanie. Knit beanies are a great hat for gifts because it stretches so much. I think this is even 1x1 ribbing. It's not very complicated ribbing. This is knit with 2 strands of fingering weight held together. And you could either do that, 2 strands of any fingering weight that you have, including J&S or Yarnadelic or whatever, or Rauma Finullgarn, whatever you've got. West Yorkshire spinners would be fun. Or you can hold a single strand of more of a DK-ish weight. But again, the ribbing makes it really forgiving with gauge. So if you're off by even an inch or 2, it'll still probably fit someone's head, especially with the folded up brim, because That brim can be folded a lot or a little bit or not at all, and it would still fit somebody's head. So that's called the Morning Walk Hat by Ann Patterson. Sorry, I'm going really fast, but I feel like I have a lot that I want to share. This one's called the Blended Beanie, or just Blended, by Maya Gooding, who's also Edition Knitwear. You can see her Instagram right there. This is actually knit marled, so I think it's 3 strands of fingering weight to make a really nice marled hat. So again, scrappy, you can use whatever you've got to knit a really cool textured, again, knit folded brim beanie. So those are all the hats that I had. I have 2 cowls. One is called the Candlelight Cowl, and sorry, these are all black and white, but this is like a dark blue, and then there's white and yellow, sort of golden yellow color work in this cowl. It's a single layer cowl, so it's not an infinity cowl, it's just a tube this way. It's recommended for Peace Fleece, which we currently don't have in stock because their company is sort of ramping back up of production. But I would recommend using Rauma Vams for that. It's called the Candlelight Cowl. I think it's really cool. I really like graphic color work like that, and in worsted weight, a single layer cowl is going to go really quickly. This is called the Oats Cowl by Tin Can Knits. You can knit it single, so that what I was just saying, the single weight, or you can knit it it's still a single thickness, but much longer, so you wear it sort of doubled, sort of with an effect like my scarf is right now. This is one of their free patterns, Tin Can Knits. I would recommend Studio Donegal, I think would look really nice in this, or Vams again. There is some texture, so I think something like Studio Donegal would actually be really nice, or even Ullcentrum 3-ply. So that's their worsted weight in Ullcentrum. There we go. And again, with gifts, sometimes people's necks are sensitive, so taking some of these things into account, a looser weight thing will be less irritating than something really tight, because the warmer someone gets, generally the itchier something can feel. So again, if you're thinking of knitting for someone else for a gift, think of some of those things. I have 3 mitten patterns. This is, from Ravelry. This is called Badger Creek. I think this is also Tin Can Knits. Yeah, it is. It's Tin Can Knits, but it's actually only available in PomPom Quarterly number 46, which is their most recent autumn issue, so autumn 2023. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's a really nice cable pattern, sort of honeycomb cable on the back of these mitts. These are written for kind of a heavy DK, light worsted weight yarn. So I would actually recommend something like Rauma Strikkegarn would work well. So would Tukuwool DK. Tukuwool DK will be a little bit fuzzier, and it won't be quite as crisp of definition, but it would work really well at the gauge. Strikkegarn will give you a lot more definition in your cables if you're looking for those to be really sharp. So that's that. Another is the Hastings Mitts. This is by Tracy Miller. She's one of the Grocery Girls, if you watch the Grocery Girls video podcasts. I just really like this graphic color work. If you can see it, well, you can see it in either. The pattern comes as both a full mitten and as a fingerless mitt. So again, pretty fast knitting. It's in worsted weight. I would recommend Lettlopi, because Lettlopi is fantastic for mittens. And it's actually one of the yarns that is mentioned in the pattern itself. So I think that would look really fantastic in Lettlopi. Manhattan mitts are my next ones here. Tìoraidh is based in New York City. She's a New York sort of born and bred person, so she comes out with some really contemporary, modern, urban styled knitwear. If in these pictures you also see her hat that I think is also called the Manhattan hat. So there's a whole series of things that are similar in style. But I just, the sort of shaping at the top of the mitten here, if you can see it, I think is really cool because it's shaped more like the top of a hat instead of we're normally used to sort of decreasing up the sides of your fingers. And this is doing something a little bit more interesting. I would love these knit in Mota, in WoolDreamers Mota. I think that would be really nice with this texture, and it comes in some really fantastic colors and would feel really nice as a mitten. And then my last category is still small things, but they're just slightly different things. They're all sort of home good, toy, like non-garment accessory things. Just because it's fun to mix it up sometimes. And there's definitely some people who are not sort of wool wearers that you still want to knit something for. Like you're afraid that they're going to wash their non-superwash socks in the washing machine, or they are very sensitive to wool on their necks or their heads or their wrists. So some of these small accessory presents are not going to work. This is the first one that I think is fantastic. There are a lot of patterns that are similar on Ravelry, but I really like this one. It's just called Wool Vessel. And it's a little basket. It's a felted sort of bowl basket with these little handles. Now I'm doubting myself. Yeah, you knit. You knit the basket itself, and then you felt it in the washing machine. So then you tighten up the fabric, and it gives it this stiffness. So it's giving you exactly what you don't want in all of your other knitting projects. I would recommend Alafosslopi for this. All of the Lopi yarns will felt really well, and the bulk of Alafosslopi will give this a really nice structure. And as you can see, you can sort of nest them, or you can make them different sizes. And I thought that was a really nice sort of home decor item for people who maybe are not wool people. The next is sort of similar. It's a little sort of pouch, toiletry bag, crafting bag, just catch anything kind of bag. It has a little bit more to it because there's some sewing involved, because I believe there's at least a zipper. It may be lined. Yeah, it's lined as well. So if you're a sewist and a knitter, this is a fantastic one. This is by Linnea Ornstein. It's called the Adelphia bag. It's very similar to my area shawl that I showed maybe a year ago now at this point. But it's these short rows that form these sort of flower shapes. It's great for any leftovers that you have, or new yarn in Ullcentrum 2-ply. So that's the Ullcentrum Sport yarn. And that will also make a really nice durable bag that's not going to fall apart as you use it. Not that most wool yarns, and certainly not things that we carry, will, but there are definitely things that are more suited for like a hat that's not getting a lot of abrasion, where Ullcentrum is a durable yarn that you can throw in your bag and not worry about it at all. You can also spot clean it. Wool is fantastic. That's all I got to say. Wool is fantastic. So that's a really nice bag. I haven't knit it myself, but I knit the area shawl, and the technique is totally doable. There's a lot of counting when you're doing all these little short rows, but looks like a really fun project. And then my very last one is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and I'm hoping you can see it. These are little fish. These are Gansey herring knitted pattern, as it says on the top here. So if you can't, sorry for the black and white, but they're all little fish shaped with Gansey pattern. So that traditional fisherman's sweater with the textured knitting along the top, they made a little fish pattern out of it. I think that's super fun as home decor, as a toy for a kid, as a toy for a dog, as a Christmas ornament. I don't know, so many things you could do with these fish. They just crack me up. Especially, so Frangipani comes in cones, as you probably know, and you may end up with a good amount of Frangipani leftovers. So that would be a fantastic way to use up some of those Frangipani 5-ply Guernsey yarn leftovers. If you don't have any of that, you don't want to invest in a cone to just knit a few fish, I would also recommend trying Rauma Strikkegarn. It may end up being a little bit of a bigger fish, but it's a fish, who cares? So that's all I had about that. If you have any questions about any of those patterns or other options for yarns to knit them in, or if you couldn't understand what I was saying because I'm so sorry about my throat, you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Happy knitting, happy winter, happy holidays, and I will talk to you next time.
Thank you, Kelsey. We love hearing from you. I'm flying a little bit blind because I haven't seen your segment, but I'm sure it was wonderful. And thank you for participating and sharing your awesome knowledge with us. Things to ramble here about. I want to quickly mention that Knitting Buddies was talked about in the last episode. And so we were talking about knitting buddies and being able to feel a little less isolated, have your friends, make friends, and just have a group of friends that you knit with, probably virtually, because, that is an easy way to get in touch with people. So anyway, we were talking about invoking knitting buddies, and we have done that. So it's back open, and you can find it in the show notes below. If you're interested in joining a group, then just follow the link below and put in your information, and we will get you matched up. Also on our Facebook group and in Ravelry, you'll find that those links there too. There is a Jen Steingass Cal organically taking shape, I think for the second year running, where our Ravelry group members are running their own Cal inside our Ravelry group, which we love. We love Jen Steingass's works. We will have more kits coming, more designs of Jen Steingass's coming in kits. But to kick us off on Tuesday, we've got Treysta coming, which is that lovely foxy brown orange one that was in line of 3, if you remember way back to that. And Althida, which is one of our best-selling kits. We've revamped it. I think there's more colors. So that is a really great one to knit. This is Maggie's Tree Lights, which also is by Jen Steingass and just lovely. It's one of Maggie's favorite sweaters. It's in Lettlopi. And I think the Treysta is in Lettlopi and Althida is in Plutolopi. So we do love these woolier wools for Jen's designs. But of course, if you're knitting in the Cal, just go to the Ravelry group, look and see if they have any rules. But I think you can do what you want in terms of which design you're knitting. Such sad news since we last spoke about PomPom closing its doors. Have you heard? They've been in business for quite a while. They were around before I started the Woolly Thistle, and really lovely and special publication, always on the cutting edge of representation of many different people, and it's just sad that they've closed their doors. So their last issue, which is number 47, I want to say, but their very last issue we do have on pre-order now, and then that will be it. A very sad thing to happen, but I do wish them lots of good vibes and luck for whatever they decide to do next. Whatever they decide to do, I'm sure will be very creative and interesting. So yeah, times are tough. So thank you for shopping with us and supporting the Woolly Thistle as well as you do. We can't do this without you. We want to be here forever, serving you, bringing you the best woolly yarns from over the water, from the UK and Europe, and some special yarns here in the US, and wherever that love of woolly wool takes us, who knows. But yeah, thank you for supporting us and helping us get through what has been a really difficult year, I will admit. Coming up soon, I'm going to announce another winner, and we will go visit Emma, who is all about green this time. In fact, let's go visit Emma, and when we come back, I'll announce another winner, and I'm sure I've got other things to show you and talk about, and we will still have Kim at the end. So let's go to Emma. She's talking about all the green things. I love this segment, so I will see you on the other side.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma, and I'm coming to you from Baltimore, and I'm here to talk about a bunch of stuff. Most of it's green. So that's a fun fact. Today I'm wearing my Sparky pullover by Andrea Mowry. And this is knitted in, I think, Durarium Natura Release, and my hand spun. And Woolly Thistle does not carry Durarium Natura, but it does carry a yarn called Cautiva by WoolDreamers, which is really new. And it reminds me a lot of this yarn. And that's why I was thinking about it today. And that's why I reached for the sweater, because that yarn is this like beautiful woolen spun, kind of soft sport weight choice for a bunch of fun sweaters that you could pair with hand spun or spin cycle. And it's so soft, and like there's so much air in it because it's woolen spun, and it's just like, it's like a hug. It's like a warm, cozy hug. So if you've used Mota, it's kind of similar to that, but it's a bit lighter weight. And I would totally recommend it if you are interested in a soft woolen spun sport weight yarn. I really like pairing yarns like that with my hand spun, because especially my earlier hand spun, like this was some of the earliest hand spun that I did last year. It's not super consistent, and so using it in color work is really helpful. And sport is kind of a nice kind of place between fingering and DK, where like if your hand spun is kind of between there, it's like a nice base for color work because that yarn is more kind of in the middle and consistent, which is what I found when I started spinning. So yeah, this is one of my first sweaters knitted with hand spun, and it is a little crazy, but I love it, and it's really cozy. So check out WoolDreamers Mota if you're interested. So yeah, I'm here to talk about a few things. I have a bunch of green sweaters in front of me that I'm working on. So right now I'm kind of like in the phase of like, it's fall and there's a few things that I've had on my needles for like a long time, like multiple seasons at this point, that I'm kind of trying to get through, like bigger projects, so that I can start other projects, kind of clear the needles and just like feel a little bit like I have the mental capacity for that. So I'm back to my giant green cabled cardigan that I've been working on since like January. Truly, like it's been in timeout a lot. It actually hasn't taken me since January to knit this, but I mean it has, but like I haven't been working on it very consistently. So I have 2 sleeves now, and yay, 2 sleeves, and I have a bunch of the body. Like it almost looks like a wearable, it is a wearable thing right now, but it is still growing. You can really see where I blocked it at the top, and like up here I've blocked it, and then like down here where the cables are all angry. This is why I always tell people, like when you're knitting a cabled piece, like knit a swatch with some cables on it and then wash the swatch, because I always say the cables get less angry when you wash them. They don't look quite so aggressive. So always wash your swatches, and obviously your finished pieces. But this is the Long Road hoodie by Meiju KP from this book Contrasts. So this is actually the Long Road pullover on the front, so you can kind of see what it looks like. It just has 2 cables, which is nice, 2 kind of bigger cable charts. It's really easy to follow. Like they're very intuitive. Like you don't really need the charts to know, oh, this is where I am in the cable chart like this. Because you can, if you're a cable knitter, you know that like you just kind of, if the cable is not super complicated, it's really obvious where it's going. And if you've done it a few times, you just kind of have a sense of it. So I really like that about this piece, because I'm not constantly having to refer to charts. I'm knitting this in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, which has been in my stash for years. But there's so many yarns at the Woolly Thistle that you could use for this. And I'm thinking particularly of like Studio Donegal. Oh, this would be so nice. You could even use a worsted spun yarn for this, but like really any like woolly wool kind of Aran weight would be so squishy. And I just, yeah, so I'm at the point here with this sweater where I'm like, I'm solidly more than halfway. So I'm ready to finish it. And it's one of those things where I know that like when I travel over Thanksgiving break, this is the only thing I'm going to bring, because I'm so determined to get it done. Just because like don't even give myself the option of bringing anything else and starting anything else, because I'm like, this has to get done. So this is gonna get done, and I'm excited about it. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna finish this current ball that I'm working on. I have like 5 more skeins downstairs, and I'm gonna finish this ball. Then I'm gonna knit the hood, because I don't know how much yarn the hood's gonna take. Then I'm gonna finish the body so that I can kind of use all of my, really maximize the amount of yarn that I can use up, because I'd like this to be nice and long, but I'm not sure how long it can be. So I'm not going to put like any pockets on it or anything, but like basically the idea is to knit as much as I can and then leave just like a chunk of yarn, like not even this big, for the button band, which goes all the way around, and then just have it done. So we'll see how that ends up, but hopefully I'm able to make some progress on this in the next month and just kind of get it off the needles, because it's so Christmassy. I would like to wear it for Christmas. I don't know. But yeah, I'm totally in a green mood right now, because I'm also knitting the Macaron Cardi from Espace Tricot, which is just a like woolen mohair cardigan. So again, yarns you can use from the Woolly Thistle to knit something like this. Ooh, Biche Bouche would be really nice. The Biche Bouche Le Petit Lamb's Wool and Le Petit Silk Mohair, they actually come in colors, obviously, that go with each other. Like they come in color pairings, so that they're the same. Or you could use like Rauma, Finullgarn, and Plum to knit something like this, like the Vanilla Fluff. But this is just it's a open cardigan. I'm knitting back and forth, which I rarely do, because I don't really usually care for purling much, but I'm actually not doing too bad with this. I'm not hating it. So you can't really tell that it's the proper size because it's on 24-inch needles, but it's supposed to be kind of cropped, and like slightly oversized, but I have changed it up a bit so it's not quite as boxy, but it will probably be like longer. I'm using just some stash mohair and wool that I've had for years. I don't even know really who makes it. I think this is probably from like Webs, and this is just a superwash sock yarn. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this though. So you can, again, like any wool and mohair combination, and the macaron cardigan is a free pattern on Ravelry if you're interested in knitting it. So this has been fun. I'm kind of just chugging away at this, some vanilla knitting, kind of, you know, I don't want to say forcing myself to purl because no knitting is done by force because it's my hobby, but definitely like practicing my purling a little bit, trying to just kind of normalize purling, which is hard because I knit Fair Isle so much. So I just knit, and then I cut when I need to, you know, have a hole somewhere and just cut it open. So, you know, clearly I'm in a green cardigan phase. And here's some real woolly wool that I spun up this past week. So this was just one bobbin, and I was planning on doing another bobbin of this. It's a Coopworth roving prep, woolen prep. But because I'm a worsted spinner, which means I tend to I use a short forward draft so that I'm organizing all the fibers and I'm not letting twist in randomly. I haven't learned how to do long draw, which is when you know, pull the yarn way back and then you let the twist in, and then you kind of do, you know, pull the yarn back and you let the twist in. And that, you know, the roving that I was using for this was really better prep for woolen long draw spinning. So I had one bobbin and I thought I'm going to save the other half for practicing long draw maybe next year. And I chain plied this skein, and it is quite tight. I definitely had the speed a little too high on my e-spinner, which is what I use for plying, but that's okay. You know, it's going to make a really bulletproof pair of socks, and in a really murky green, because like I said, I'm obviously in a green phase, and I love how many like colors there are in this. It's so funky. I actually bought this roving last year at Rhinebeck from the same woman who sold me my spinning wheel. She sells fiber and yarn, or fiber and her own wheels, clearly. She had more wheels there this year. I think she just is trying to kind of like, she had a lot of them. She's always had a lot of them, but she said she was getting older and she just likes to spin on her Lendrum now. And so she was trying to find good homes for the rest of them. So I'm really glad that I gave her old Shack Matchless a new home last year. So yeah, this is this. But these are big projects. This is, you know, maybe for a sock, maybe not such a big project, but these are big projects, these cardigans. And it's getting to the time of year where like you need some like less crazy things on your needles that are kind of smaller, that are like quick finishes, sort of, just to kind of like make you feel like you're making some progress, maybe use as gifts, whatever it is. So I'm thinking of like using some of my, you know, super special woolly skeins from the Woolly Thistle, from, you know, selection boxes past, but also just like random times when these wools have been available, to knit some like hats or something. I think hats, maybe color work. Sometimes I'm thinking of using them with hand spun, you know, but something like the Black Isle, you know, this is Black Isle from 2020. It's a light DK weight. It's 65% Gotland and 35% BFL. Yeah, Katie Green did a cute little sheep illustration on the back. It's really smelled really sheepy. Yeah, so something like this, maybe like for a, you know, like a little cabled beanie, or, you know, some Armskip Manor. Oh, this is so squishy. This is the Portland wool from Armskip Manor. You know, all from a conservation, you know, flock. Portland is, of course, one of the oldest breeds. It's in the Doomsday Book, as you've probably heard if you have shopped with the Woolly Thistle. So I would love to know, you know, what do you do with your like super precious Woolly Thistle woolly wool skeins that you get? What do you make? What have you made? Or are you saving them for something? You know, like I said, I frequently save things to use with hand spun, but not everyone spins, and sometimes it's nice to have like ideas for one skein projects that we can share with each other. So I'd love to know in the comments. But yeah, so it's been lovely. Been lovely to be getting through this cardigan. I'm excited to do some more work on it, kind of get it off the needles. Knit a hood. I'm so excited to knit the hood. It's gonna be really fun. And then just anchors away on the body until it's done, until you use up all that yarn. So I hope that you're cozying up, knitting somewhere. If it's cold where you are, it's getting cold here. It's kind of like a dreary gray day. It's perfect for knitting all day. So I'm gonna enjoy a nice afternoon of knitting on this green cardigan and maybe a little bit of spinning. And I hope you do too. So we'll see you next time.
Don't you love that cabled cardigan? It's going to be a hoodie. I love the color. I love the cables. And yes, I've been thinking about cables. I do think about cables from time to time, that it would be nice to do that. I should I'll maybe bring it in for next time. It was very ambitious when I knit it, which was several years ago now, and I blocked that thing probably 10 times as I was knitting it. I was so into making sure everything was just so, and it is a beautiful sweater. I'll tell you all about it when I bring it in. I'll show it off as a historical knit, but I swear to God, I think that thing could stand up on its own. It's so densely knitted, it's so tight that there's no movement in it. It's really, so I've never worn it because it feels like I'm wearing armor. So good lesson there. I'll bring that in to show you next time. So Gudrun Johnston and MJ Mucklestone's book, Grand Shetland Adventure Knits, we have had to reorder, and we do have some in the shop at time of recording. It's a lovely book and such a lovely tribute to a friendship, and I think they're both great. We actually have an interview with them a couple of episodes back, which if you haven't watched, you should definitely check out. We have gone ahead and created kits from the book, including Gudrun's Busta socks, which are knitted in Mondim, which we have. We have the Swatchtastic flower hat in Jamieson Smith Heritage by MJ. Then the Snow Treasure gloves in Rauma Finullgarn by MJ, and Heritage yoke in JNS Heritage yarn by Gudrun. So those kits are available in the shop while stocks last. So yes, and also Gudrun had her little holiday hat kit come out, which was so darling. We sold out very quickly. Okay, let's announce the winner because I promised I would. Let's see. Sammy Sherwin 133, congratulations. You won a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle. And you said, thanks so much for another wonderful podcast. You're welcome. After seeing Maggie wear her Paul Klee sweater, I may just have to make one for my husband, who's named for the artist. That's amazing. Yes, you do need to make him one then. That's a lot of knitting, right? But dedication, and he's worth it. So thank you for leaving us a comment. Just leave us or send us an email now with winner all in caps. Send it to info@thewoollythistle.com and we will get your gift card out to you. Congratulations, Sammy. And if you would like to be in the running for a gift card next time, just leave us a comment below, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It's how we grow our channel, and we want to say thank you for being here and subscribing. It would be amazing if everyone who watched also subscribed and told a friend. Okay, so let's see. What do I have for you? I have mentioned the selection box. There may be some left in the shop now. They're available to the general public now. We had early access yesterday, which I'm hoping and I'm sure will have been a really good success. So thank you if you purchased yours yesterday. Thank you for that. All right. Last time we had this particular yarn in, it sold out in a flash, so we knew we had to get more. And working with Emma of the Woolly Mammoth is just wonderful. So we have a lovely new and bigger order of hearth sock yarn by Woolly Mammoth. Aren't these beautiful? These sold out in a flash, so we were able to get more. She has a new studio and she's getting herself all organized, so she's able to do a little bit of a bigger order for us, which is so nice. Let's see what she puts on the label here. Dyed in Northern Ireland by Emma. Colorway Wildflower Light, and it's a sock set. So this is her sock yarn. And it says 50/50 Jacob BFL, 100% wool, of course. And then this little wildflower color here is sort of a very muted gray, purple lavender. It's lovely, very gentle colors, all of them. And they all have the same base color, which is this lovely gray. This one is mustard. It's a nice grello. I like this one. This is cognac. And just a lovely label too. Cognac. This one is very subtle, moss sock set. So these are all naturally dyed. So this is just, there is a dye there, but it's very, very subtle. That one's moss. This lovely blue here is called Sprout. Just lovely. And then this is another subtle one called Light Bracken. Bracken is a fern that has gone over and dried out, and it turns that orangey color. And this here is Copper. Beautiful. This one here is Peony. A lovely sort of mauvey pink. So aren't these just lovely and beautiful? So these will be going on sale in a couple of weeks. So we just wanted to give you a heads up. We have them here in the shop, and I'm sure they will go very quickly. But working with Emma is a treat. She has managed to dye up several more sets for us than before. So if you want one of these, I would treat yourself. You should be able to get one, is my hope. But we'll send out an email. So be sure to be on our email list. That's where you find out when things are going on sale, such as this. So you can go to the website and just put your email address in, and you'll be signed up, and you will get notice that these are going on sale when they go on sale. Oh, right. Another thing I'm very excited about is this new pattern translated into English by Rauma. It's a leaf motif knitted in Vams, and I do think I want to knit this myself. I love Vams. I knitted and designed my Victory cardigan, which is right here, funnily enough, and that's in Vams too. And it's one of the, it's just really soft and snuggly. It's great that you can steek it as well, and it holds its shape. So I think I want to be casting this on. I think this will be a really quick knit, don't you? Yeah, there it is in a light pink. You can see the design really well. It's just lovely, really fun. Okay, so we have some yarn sets for this lovely sweater. What's it called? It's called the Host Lovengenser, or number 400-6. This one. So we have some lovely colors. Look at these, they're very fallish, aren't they? This one is really nice. This one is 418. That might be the one I knit mine in, actually, or maybe, I don't know how this would look. This is 307, and I can just feel how woolly and soft. This isn't quite accurate. The ball itself looks a bit more on the brown side. This is looking a bit more on the yellow side to me. But here is a yellow, and this one is 304. And then we've got this nice petrol blue, which is 53. That would be lovely. And a lovely baby blue, but on gray, so a little more sophisticated, 301. So you can certainly also just buy the required number of yarn balls in the colors that you would like, but we started out our kits with these colors, and I think all of them will make a lovely leafy quick knit cardigan that's fun to knit because there's a little bit of lace, doesn't look too difficult. She says lace is my Achilles heel, but I actually have been knitting more lace of late anyway, and I do really enjoy knitting it. So there's that. Oh, this might be another color that we're doing. If it's not, then I'm just showing you this for fun, but it's 302. It's a peachy on gray, and I think we're doing that as well in these colors. So why don't I go like this? These actually look really nice, don't they? There we go. So we have kits in these, I believe. Don't take what I'm saying as gospel. Maggie's not here, anything could be going on. We have another new kit from Rauma, which is this lovely all over colorwork raglan. And you can see how they work the raglan shaping in there. It's beautiful, isn't it? So we have kits for this in the shop as well now. I love it. We got these in, and look how they come to you. Grey sheep, just beautiful. Look at these. So we got 2 kits in. We may or may not have these left by the time you see this. They have been selling rather quickly. But we do have some at time of recording, so I'm going to show you. This is Raven, and it's a yoke colourwork sweater designed by Marie Wallen for little grey sheep. I just call them their old name. They grew up. They're called the Grey Sheep Company, and they have been for a while. So grey sheep. And in here you get all the yarn you need in just the right quantities for the size that you're knitting. So isn't that spectacular? Really beautiful. I love this drawstring bag actually, with the little stamped logo there. And then this one is Delilah. Again, designed by Marie Wallen. So popular. We've had this in the shop before and we can't keep them in. Look at those colors. Beautiful. So we have these in different sizes, and then you have the right yarn for the right size and the right pattern. And it comes in this lovely big drawstring bag, which I think is really nice quality too. So there you have it. We have these in while they're here. Not sure that they'll last very long. What else do we have? We don't have it in stock yet because it's a pre-order, but we do have Shetland Wool Adventure Journal number 5 on pre-order. This is number 4, and it's been such a long time since number 4 came out. This is one of my favorite publications though. It's all about knitting, but it's really all about Shetland. And you get wonderful articles and photography around the Isles. You get patterns. Oh, I don't know if that's a pattern or just, I think this is a feature on a designer. From France to Fivel with Marie Bruhat. So, you know, you get to learn about people living on Fair Isle. Oh my goodness, and look who's in this one, I forgot. It's our very own Rachel is in number 4. There she is with her yarn. Just lovely. So yes, love this. And lots of historical stuff too. And just, you know, for anyone who is a lover of all things Shetland, you can't go wrong. I mean, even look at the 70s. This is the 70s by the looks of it. Yeah. So yes, we have these in as we have them. So we did have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not sure what we have in stock for those previous ones. So get these when you can. So the number 5 is on pre-order. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. If the last 4 are anything to go with, I have no reason to doubt that it's going to be another work of art. And the Shetland Wool Week, the Shetland Wool Week Annual too. I think we are getting another round of that in. We've been chasing it. We keep selling out. So good problems, good problems. So I think we will have another round of those in too. The Dunrobin pattern is now available for sale as an individual pattern, so you can grab that in the shop if you would like, and then you can knit it in whatever yarn you like that gets the right gauge. 12 days of Christmas or holiday box shipped out in between now and when we last spoke, and we have, at time of recording, I think we have just a few left. So if there's any left when you see this, I would grab that. They're almost all gone. The blankets, thank you so much for embracing these woolly handmade blankets that we get from Studio Donegal. That's a custom order that we made. So these blankets were made just for the Woolly Thistle. We even had our own Thistle colorway, which sold out very quickly, and I didn't even get one. So we'll need to have them again sometime. But yes, so we have a few, I think, at time of recording, we have 6 variations left. I gotta tell you, the citrus blush and the citrus, what's it called? Blush. There's the citrus blush and the citrus something else. They're both very colorful. They sold out in a heartbeat last time, and for some reason they're taking a bit longer. They're absolutely gorgeous. You can't go wrong with any of these blankets. You just can't. And then we've got the lovely undulating pink one and the petrol blue one as well. And then we've got the pastel one, which is very muted. I have that one at home, or yeah, several at home now. But yes, I love that one. And I think the Valentine one, there might only be 2 left while I'm talking to you. They're all wonderful. They're wonderful, warm blankets. You can throw them on your bed. You can wrap up in them on the couch. You can give them as presents. And I think many people are buying them for gifts for the holidays. Great idea. Great idea. I hope there's some left because I just went on and on about them, but thank you for shopping with us to get them. I think they're a really good quality for what you're paying, and handmade. I mean, you can't beat that. Feels like loads of books currently on pre-order or brand new in. We've got Lina 19 taking pre-orders for that. They've got a couple of other books. Yes, Espace Tricot, their LYS book, we have some of those on pre-order. The Moon Shawl book, which is just lovely, looks like a littler book, that's on pre-order too. And PomPom 47, it is 47, is actually on pre-order right now too. Well, I think that's everything I have for you today. Thank you for hanging in there with just me. I've missed Maggie. I think you know, it's really great to have her on the show, and I hope she feels better very soon. You are missed, Maggie. But yes, thanks for hanging out with just me, little old me. And I think that we have to go now for a lovely walk with Kim. And I just, you know, actually, I'm going to take this chance to say thank you, Kim. You are just wonderful. You send us your videos, and you just, you know, you share some really great stuff with us, and I appreciate all the yoga that you're doing for knitters. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, and I love today's getting out for a walk. I've been trying to get out for lots of walks myself. Nothing like the clocks going back and the onset of darkness to get me finally motivated to get outside. Ridiculous, but there you go. So I have been trying to get out for a walk every day. So let's go and enjoy a walk with Kim and her lovely kitty cat that comes for a walk with her. And I think all that I have left to say is, if you go out, take your knitting, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hi, and welcome to Yoga for Knitters. You're probably thinking, this is weird. Why aren't we in a yoga studio? Why aren't we inside? Well, the reason is because yoga is a state of mind, not just a place. And today's episode is all about taking your yoga with you. So I'm going to keep looking down a little bit. It's wet and it's slippery and I don't want to slip. Although it might be kind of funny for you. So we're taking our yoga with us on a walk today. And we're doing that so that our walk has meaning. You see, yoga is about being mindful, being present. So before we really get going, we will set our intention to be fully present in our walk today. And then we're going to take time to really notice. I gotta step over the cattle gate here, so I'm really noticing where not to step. To really notice all the details about our walk. And that will help to keep us present, make this walk a mindful practice, and you will be surprised at how much better you feel if you use these practices in your daily life. So let's get walking. way, this kind of mindfulness practice is a lot like reclaiming our childhood magic. You remember when you were a kid and you could do something like, I don't know, catch a fly or catch minnows or play on the swings, and it felt like you were doing that forever. And you finally come in, you're like, Mom, I had such a busy day. She's like, it's only been an hour. It's like that. You get caught up in the moment and time just disappears. It's a beautiful thing. Of course, the other great thing about walking is that it gets your whole body moving, and that's a good thing, especially when we've been sitting too long. So if you find that you've been enjoying your favorite hobby longer than maybe you should have been, and you're feeling a little stiff, just get out and take a walk. Thank you for walking with me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.